Hi there folks, my name is NovaWrap24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 22nd of September 2019 with the late edition of the NovaWrap this week. Apologies, I have been rather busy this weekend getting ready for a few events coming up, so apologies for the tardiness of tonight's episode. However, we are jumping straight into it this week with the release for X-Plane, with the release from FSim Studios of their rendition of Cancun International Airport. Now, I've highlighted this region before. Like my funny enough, one of the events I'm training for is actually in that part of the world. So I've got quite the affinity for this part of the world. So, for those who may not know, of course, I think we've just about all heard of Cancun. But where it is on the Caribbean coast of Mexico along the Yucatan Peninsula. And it's Latin America's fourth and Mexico's second busiest airport after Mexico City. So it's hugely, insanely busy because of all the tourists coming through to an absolutely stunningly beautiful part of the world. And so, of course, it is a very popular destination to fly to in flight simulation as well. Now, this rendition of the airport is how it appears in 2019, so it is relatively up to date, but it is the start of the year. Now, this includes all airport buildings included in high-resolution 4K textures throughout. This including the brand newly opened, so the newly opened Terminal 4 building has been included as well. Now, not only has the airport itself been modelled, but also a large amount of the surrounding area has been modelled as well, including the main hotel, so the whole main hotel area. So a lot of things in Mexico, by the way, are sort of divvied up into like zones. So you'll have a hotel zone, and you'll sort of have a residential zone, then you have a commercial zone. So, but yeah, all the hotels for the entire area are all mushed into one area. So all of the hotels in the area have been modelled with over 300 handcrafted models have been customised for this area and hand placed as well. So that's really great to see the attention to detail. And now, not only that, as I said, not only of the main airport buildings, but also the FBO, airport surrounding buildings have also been included as well, including a large number of other recognisable objects. Quite a variety of static aircraft have been included as well, along with all jetways animated with SAM plug-in, full implementation of PBR textures and HDR night lighting also included as well as the 3D a 3D model of the custom bridge that goes via taxiway Delta. So a lot coming through here, including there's a lot of actually. It's funny actually looking at some of the texturing, because some of the texturing actually, because it is actual proper photoreal, it almost pops out in a really weird kind of way. Because some of the texturing is blend of photoreal and of sort of handcrafted textures. Sometimes the photoreal actually pops out a little too much, but otherwise, as I said, looking pretty good. This one's coming in for $22 or your regional equivalent, available now from your favorite flight sim retailer for X-Plane 11. Continuing on with other Flight Sims scenery releases this week, but moving into the Prepared V4 space, the guys over at Iron Sim Simulations have rebooted their rendition of Karpathos Airport in Greece. Now, this airport they have previously done for the for FSX and Prepared V3. They've done that previously, but they've now rebooted it and brought it over and updated it and brought it into Prepared V4 exclusively. Now, what that means is they haven't changed anything about the layout. They've simply updated the texturing and a few other parts about it. So basically, they've redone the textures to make them 4K compatible textures. They've implemented a full set of PBR texturing or ground polygon materials and texturing for all major buildings. They've also included PBR on the ground surfaces to give you that beautiful rain reflections and weather reflections you can get. Also includes an updated photoreal and modified terrain mesh for the airport and surrounding area. Full implementation of SODE windsocks have been included as well as dynamic lighting, custom car park vehicles, custom models for the cars in the car park, and custom airport vehicles and taxiway lights all included as well. With the volumetric grass effects as well, just for something different. But fundamentally, they didn't change anything, they didn't update it, so I believe this is still as it appears in 2018. They've just simply overhauled all the texturing of it. And it looks pretty good. Like, it looks. It's funny actually because what actually, in my opinion, actually lets it down is the photo reel that it sits on. The actual airport buildings and textures and ground textures look great, but then it's let down by what looks to be a fairly low resolution photo reel that it's sitting on it, and it doesn't seem to really go past the airport boundaries from the press release photos that I can see. So, yeah, kind of mixed feelings about that, but there you go. Now, if you are a new user to this and haven't picked this one up previously, you are looking at about $15 for this title, for this airport. If you are an existing owner of the previous 32-bit version, you can get this one for an upgrade price of about $6. Just to log into your previous store, log in and grab that one. Available now from Sim Market. And another ESP scenery release. The guys over at Gibson Sceneries have come out with their latest in their their en route series. So, Gibson Sceneries, I've came across them a number of years ago. And funny enough, they actually used the livery for for the Iris PC21. They actually used one of the liveries I created for it in a lot of their publicity shots. So what Gibson Sceneries is on what they've been doing for a number of years is they've been doing photo real scenery, but without custom buildings or custom autogen or whatever. They've been doing in vast swathes, mostly of Australia. They've been doing it for quite a while now. They've been doing it for it. But it's designed for en route. So basically, it's designed for tube liner flyers. For those of you who are tube liner flyers, and you don't want to go across the sort of repeated sort of textures of the geotypical stuff that's sort of normally in a sim. You want to have what you would actually fly over, but you're not going down low and slow, so you don't need the fine detail. Now, what does that mean? That means for you as the user that you have you get this beautiful imagery of what you would actually fly over, with the custom sort of land class to go with it, sort of to make sure that your coastlines are all correct and stuff like that, but without the sheer memory and memory impact, both in terms of hard drive space and in terms of sort of the content getting loaded into your RAM, that would actually slow your sim down. So it's an interesting balance, and it's very much targeted at very much the tube liner market. So for those of you who fly the airliners, and when you're cruising at 37,000 feet, 40,000, 41,000 feet, this is the kind of scenery that you probably want to consider having underneath you, because as I said, it's very low memory footprint, very low impact on your bandwidth, on your sort of memory bandwidth as well. So something to consider. As I said, it's perfectly feasible for what it does. So Gibson Scenery first came to my attention a few years ago with that one, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. Really great and a great set of coverage for most of Australia. This is their first, from I believe this is the first foray outside of Australia, and they've covered quite a significant area as well. I mean, we're talking. We're talking like 2,300 square kilometers here. Like, this is insane. It's basically covers like almost half of the equivalent of half of the of continental US, like the lower 48. Sorry, correction. It's their second release in China. I do apologize. They did make another release earlier when I was away traveling, so I didn't get to cover that one for you guys. As I said, they've gone through. He's got hand sort of checked all of the coastlines and made sure they're all masked correctly. It's generally based on 15 meter satellite imagery. So I said it's great for if you're high altitude, gets a little fuzzy once you get down to a bit low altitude. So, but yeah, if you are doing a lot of sort of long distance, long haul flights over China, this is probably something that you may want to get involved in, as I said, pick up. And as I said, and the rest of his catalog, I also have to highly recommend as well. So you can pick this one up either direct from Gibson Sceneries, or you pick it up from your favorite flight sim retailer, coming in at around about $30 or your original equivalent, available now. Oh, sorry, and I should point out that this one is available for all of the ESP platforms. So it is available for FSX Steam Edition, and prepared in all its beautiful glory in all its different formats. As I said, and it's available now. Alrighty, moving out of the flight simulation world, there wasn't much going, not much releases. A lot of talk about stuff that's coming, a few updates, but that was all the new releases that I could find. So moving on to Train Simulator now, so moving on to the permanent way. The guys over at Train Simulator, having recently rebooted, of course, with the 2020 edition of Train Sim, come out with their latest add-on, which this time around was the Nuremberg and Regensburg barn or train. So essentially, this is exactly what it says on the tin. This is the rail link that links the cities of Nuremberg and Regensburg. Now, originally, this route was originally created in 1860-ish. There was a route there, but then the original one was closed because the sheer volume of traffic was increasing and going up, and that would result in a new set of track being laid throughout the 1870s, and finally completed during the 1890s with a two-track system. It went through a modernization route, and when it was electrified in the 1950s, and then upgraded again in the early 2000s to make it suitable for high-speed rolling stock. So this is a simulation of as it appears during the 2010s, and this one's comes through and covers 100 kilometers of route, or 60 miles for those of you in the old terminology, with 27 train stations, including Nuremberg, Hauptbahnhof, Newmarket, and Regensburg. You also get 3 trains in this one. You get a Deutsche Bahnhof BR 440, 442, and 185.2, all in the traffic red liveries. A variety of custom points of interest are included, including the neo-Gothic style Nuremberg Central Station, Regensburg Central Station, which was built in the 1830s and then rebuilt in 1955, Newmarket Station, built in 1871, a very historic one, and the Maria Orta Brücke rail bridge. Along with that, you also get 7 career scenarios to allow you to make the most of the 3 new trains that you get, along with 3 rail fan mode scenarios, and of course all trains and routes are fully compatible with quick drive scenarios as well. Now that one's coming in at a pretty stock standard price, coming in at $30 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Continuing on with another simulation release this week and moving into something very, very different with a lot, well, actually I would say sharp teeth, but actually not these ones. So this is the latest piece of DLC from Jurassic World Evolution, the Herbivore Dinosaur Pack. Now, with this one, you get 3 new dinosaurs, all with the sort of flat teeth of the vegetable eaters, and not the sharp teeth of the carnivores. Now, with this, you get these, I am totally going to get these names wrong, by the way, the Homolocephali? Yeah, definitely got that one. Apparently, the name translates to being even head, and the animal sports a flat, thickened, wedge-shaped skull used as a tool for headbutting. I love, it fascinates me that scientists can actually figure out behaviors from like skull fragments and just like stuff like that. That's just so cool. It really is. Anyway, Dryosaurus, which to me sounds like it needs a drink, but apparently it actually prefers forested habitats, and they rely on their speed and dexterity, and they use their stiff tail while running as a counterbalance. So pretty much think of a raptor that doesn't eat meat. And then a Nigersaurus, which is the smallest of the sauropods, which measure about 9 meters long. Only 9, apparently. Despite their long neck, Nigersaurs are grazers, feeding from plants close to the ground and not from the ones in the tree like their bigger cousins. Alright, so that one's available now. Coming in, if you buy it standalone, you're looking at paying about $5, $5 for that one, available now on Steam. Or if you have Jurassic World on another platform, available through your platform store. Or it is part of the Jurassic World Evolution Dinosaur Collection, which is about $20 or available now on Steam. And with that rounds out a very brief NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.